Yeah. It's still Led Zeppelin.
Oh, still the same thing.
Got any other music?
That's okay.
It's Just Enough Trope, the podcast. I'm your host, Caliban, joined by my co-host.
Hi, I'm Mikan Hana.
And we're here at the end of the third day, day 3.
That's right.
Of CONvergence.
Yes.
At what point, what's the point of actual convergence? It must be at the end of the second day.
I do not have a good answer for that. Aren't we converging the entire time, and we're just going to become one giant nerd sphere?
I'm thinking about like 2 axes.
Oh.
But you're talking about everybody
coming together,
congealing,
yeah,
into one uber nerd,
yeah,
like the end of Neon Genesis Evangelion.
You got it.
Which I managed to jam into any conversation I'm having.
That makes you an otaku. Yeah, I made that joke.
I agree.
I just as a side note, the weather is really nice right now. The bugs are out, but we've got this nice breeze because it rained earlier today. Completely random, not related to the con at all. But busy day for us both again today. I had 3 panels, bright and early. I had Batman at 9:30 a.m. this morning, which is pretty early for a panel for a con. And it was the Batman film Face Off, which was pretty civil, really. Basically, I don't think we came down to a final decision. We talked about a lot of different
Wait, you were
films.
doing like brackets?
No, it wasn't brackets.
That was never in the description.
Well, it's called Face Off, but we talk about the films.
Is there ever a story where Two-Face is like, "I'll take your face, Batman, then I'll have a full face. You'll be half a face."
No, but now I want to see.
He's not named
Two-Faces.
correctly.
Yeah, I know.
He should be half and half face.
Yeah, right.
He should 2 half faces.
Yeah.
He doesn't have 2 faces.
No, he doesn't.
The mirror has 2 faces.
That's right. And we just kind of came down to basically what is our favorite Batman film. I said Dark Knight, but my second choice was Mask of the Phantasm. And so we had 2 that said Dark Knight and 2 that said Mask of the Phantasm, and we didn't really come down on anything in particular. So
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Well, 2 votes for Phantasm. That's pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of love for Phantasm. I was one of 3 90s kids on the panel. And the other, I guess I'll just recount it, I guess. They're big fans of the Batman animated series, which is something I want to get more into because I haven't actually seen a whole lot of. But I love Mask of the Phantasm. And I love Kevin Conroy. And Justice League, the Justice League cartoon, Justice League Unlimited. So, but yeah. And
what about the Superman Adventure Hour?
Not familiar with, I have to be honest.
There's a whole thing, I think it's called World's Finest. There's like a 3-part episode where Bruce tracks a criminal to Metropolis, and to keep his cover, he's got to have, Bruce Wayne has to be in Metropolis as well. And so Bruce Wayne comes to Metropolis, and I think at the end of the first episode, slight spoilers, they both learn who they are. Superman through probably X-ray vision, and Batman through detective skills. And so now they have a rivalry, but Bruce Wayne comes to the offices of the Daily Planet, and he's like, "Oh, Lois, I really enjoyed your piece about going to dinner with me, you know?" And he starts dating Lois Lane, and Clark Kent's like,
"Oh my gosh, Bruce.
Check it out."
Yeah, it's dangerous. And then I think our least favorites, my least favorite was, we did talk about the Snyderverse a little bit. Batman v Superman, my all-time least favorite, followed pretty closely with Batman and Robin. So those were the 2 that were pretty tied at the bottom there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then...
You know what brings Batman and Robin down? It's all the... No offense, I'm glad he gets the spotlight, but it's all the Alfred stuff. nobody really cares.
I mean...
Do you know what I mean?
I didn't have a problem with that.
I would totally vote Batman Forever, except for the fact that... Because, I mean, like, you know, it seems Arnold Schwarzenegger's Two-Face.
Mr. Freeze.
I don't have two faces. I've only got half of two faces. You know, he's not... he's fine, but the whole, like, we got to get this thing for Alfred, it doesn't really ever matter. Anyway, if you're familiar with Batman and Robin, real heads know.
Yeah, that is true.
What else did you do?
I did the Great British Bake Off fan panel, which I was the moderator for, and that was a lot of fun. The panelists on that, both of them were bakers and huge fans of the show.
Nice.
And one of them actually works in production with cooking, a lot of cooking shows, like behind the scenes stuff, for the crew. And one of the other panelists is she has started her own baking show, but it is currently only on Facebook, but she's, you know, working to basically get it its own site or on YouTube. I'm not exactly sure what she's planning on doing, but there is a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of love for the show, and just squeeing all around. So that was a lot of fun. And
More.
I had 3 panels in a row, and then I was the moderator for the mental illness in media panel.
Sure.
Which I'm really thankful that they have, but it's such a big topic, and I kind of tried to touch upon this, you know, within one of the things that, besides the fact that I think that media has a lot overall fairly negative depictions of mental illness in TV and in film. We did talk about some positive ones as well.
Yeah.
But, you know, overall, people with mental illness are depicted as being violent.
Bad guys.
Yeah. And I also...
Or living in a society. Either one.
Yeah, Joker did come up. And, you know, it was like... one of the panelists specifically brought it up and was like, you know, I do not like this film. And when he has tried to explain why he doesn't like it, people have said to him, well, but it says something about mental illness in society. And
it says that screenwriters don't understand mental illness.
Well, yeah. And
it was the cold-blooded murders that got me on his side.
Well, seriously, like, yeah, okay, society needs to provide better health care, but I think something that came up throughout the panel was what is disturbing about that particular film is by and large that, like, it's like, if you are not nice to this person, then this person will take you down.
Yeah.
And that's not what mental illness is about. But just, like, also that mental illness is so diverse, and just saying, like, mental illness, like, there's such a, you know, a spectrum, and, like, there's such a spectrum within, like, all of the, you know, different types of mental illness, and not one person's experience with depression is going to be exactly like somebody else's.
Yeah. Yep.
So honestly, I think it's almost too much to tackle in one panel, but
yeah.
I hope that I did it some justice as the mod, and I think we did touch on a couple of really great things. I wish we had gotten to more questions on the audience.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but you had a couple panels today, too.
Yeah, I did. My first panel was Bad Movies We Love, or was it Films?
Bad films.
That became a sticking point.
Yes.
Films that we love.
Yes, exactly.
Muffy. And I had see. This is a panel that I have seen.
Yes.
It's a panel that I go to every year. Really enjoy, and I was honored to be the mod on this panel this year. And I hopefully didn't. When you become part of something that you enjoy, are you going to screw it up?
I get that.
I hope I didn't. But,
Yes.
yeah, it was really great. Just talking about, really, like, first of all, I wanted to interrogate that question. What does that mean? What do we mean by bad? I mean, we like it.
Right.
So, like, what makes it bad? And everybody had a really interesting opinion on that. And then just kind of like, you know, you throw things around. You talk about stuff. It's people sharing their favorite bad movies. A lot of people hopefully learning about new ones.
Yes.
That's one thing, if I had to criticize myself, I think that we could have pushed harder to find things that aren't just Neil Breen, you know, or The Room. Obviously, that's...
Which actually did not come up.
It did not come up, but earnestness, you know, and thinking you're making one thing and it being something else.
I mean,
we
that
all
is
but
The Room.
said The Room.
Yeah.
But I try to do my best to like point people towards specific filmmakers who are making films that have been called bad, but also are praised for doing things outside of what the Hollywood norm. And but I was a little disappointed that we didn't have a business koala this year.
I mean, that's pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
You don't have a business koala every year.
Yeah, I needed to push Mark McPherson to give us a business koala. A real deep cut.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, it was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And we talked to a lot of people afterwards, and that was really great. Then moving on to movies that aren't bad, but perhaps inscrutable. I did a David Lynch panel, the Wow Lynch Wow panel. And I don't think that Lynch has ever uttered the word wow, because it is a tacit acknowledgement that you are surprised, and nothing has ever surprised David Lynch.
That's true.
And so the poorly named panel, I thought, went off pretty well.
I think so too.
Had a panel of distinguished guests who all really knew their stuff, knew David Lynch. And how do you... I mean, I had the real tough job. I mean, how do you moderate that? Where do you take the conversation? And so for the first part, the kind of first chapter, we tried to talk about the themes that Lynch attacks.
Yes.
And the source of those themes and what he's trying to accomplish, and how his films are impenetrable, why they're impenetrable, the reason that he does that, the way that you can get through that.
Yes.
And I think something that I enjoyed was that a lot of my questions were answered.
Yes.
And not just like, what's going on in Inland Empire, but also like, do you guys do it like this? Do you do it like that? Like, I watch David Lynch films, have no idea what's going on, but know that I'm going to watch them again.
Yes.
Then I go to an external source, and I read a book, or I go on the internet, or I ask friends, and there's usually some, like, key, there's some touchstone, there's some element that is, without him saying, this is the theme, like, is the theme. And once you watch it again, recontextualize through that, it all kind of comes. And it's not like, oh, I know the secret now, it's not interesting. It's never that. It's like, oh, this is so much richer now. I was pulled in by the mystery, but I stuck around for the resonance, you know, and for just like the human emotion.
Right.
And so, yes, that's how I've always approached it. I had my crazy ideas confirmed by other people. Yes, that's the right way to do it. And then we basically, it's not too tough. He's got about a dozen films and some TV shows. We basically tried to go as much as we can, bit by bit through it.
Yes.
And I think we did a pretty good job.
I think you did it really well, just like pacing-wise and everything. And I think, you covered it.
Yeah, we hit just about everything.
I think you did.
And
you even hit the monkey movie, What About Jack?
Well, yeah, Niall Schwartz, a critic, and somebody who has been whose help has been inestimable on these panels, did throw in at the end, we got to talk about what did Jack do?
What did Jack do?
And I think a lot of people were not aware of what did Jack do. I kind of felt bad that I had forgotten about that, because, if you want new Lynch, unless you're into paintings,
that's the newest.
This is it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go check out What Did Jack Do on Netflix.
It's only 11 minutes.
I still don't know what Jack did. I've watched it.
I don't either. But it's...
Probably pooped in his diaper.
Yeah.
You can
it's
put
disturbing.
a little diaper on a capuchin monkey, can't you?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably what they did on Friends. I don't know.
Yeah, the worst part of the Friends reunion is the interviews with David Schwimmer about like how mean the monkey is. I do not care.
I don't care.
I wish that he'd bitten your nose off. You weird creep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
I'm calling out David Schwimmer. I think I can take him.
Yeah, I think you probably could.
What else? That's pretty much it, huh?
That is pretty much it. I can't really think of much else.
We tried to go around and see some of the party rooms. We tried to go around and see... we did definitely checked out the GPS auction.
Yes.
And the vendor rooms.
Yep.
All of which... solid. Let's say solid.
Yeah.
Strong B.
Right.
A little less than in the normal times.
Well,
but when you consider...
in the normal time,
when you
yes.
consider what the con's been through...
Exactly.
Still pretty impressive.
I think so. I mean, there had to be a little fewer vendors this year, and they had to be more spaced out. So,
yeah.
I mean, all things considered, I think they had a pretty good amount of people show up and good.
Still got
variety.
that leather mug you've had your eye on.
Yeah.
No problem.
Sure, no problem. So, yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of fun so far. How about you?
I have. I mean, it's been a challenge just because we haven't done this in a while.
Yeah.
And, wearing a mask and trying to talk all day with mics that are almost always tuned a little too low.
It wears you out.
You got to really, rub up against it.
Yes.
I'm new to glasses, so my glasses keep bumping on the on the mic.
Awesome.
Yeah, and also just, I don't want to complain. I mean, it's supposed to be what I do, but, a lot of tough subject matter. It's one thing to sit down and go, love that Black Widow. Let's go. What'd you guys think?
Yeah, right.
But to then sit down and go, Robert Altman, complicated man with 39 films to his name.
Right.
Begin.
Yes.
So I've been kind of struggling with that mentally, but... ultimately, I think we met all the challenges, and I hope people enjoyed what we presented.
I hope so, too. I mean, I think we did our best to, give people a good time on the panels that we were on.
Call me later.
Oh, okay. All right. I see what I did there. Yeah, I think earlier today, somebody was like, oh, make sure, that your mics, can we get you a little closer to, really close to the mics so people can hear you in the back. And I was like, okay, get real close to your mics, or get real familiar with your mics. And one of the other panelists was like, and I was like, I didn't mean it like that. But I feel like something similar happened to you, and you played it the other way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe just say yes and. So
yeah, just do what people tell you to.
Yeah, great.
That's always worked for me.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm at the bottom of this well. Well, that's the end of this show. Day 4. Let's talk day 4.
Yeah.
We might not technically have a day 4.
No.
Neither of us have any programming. We aren't doing a fan table this year, unfortunately, so we may or may not be there for day 4. I didn't see any panels that really grabbed me, but maybe I'll check the schedule again. So we may or may not have a update from the con for day 4, but we'll definitely be doing a wrap-up show for day 4. And also, hey, Hollywood never sleeps.
Yeah, I know, right?
You think it's New York, but that's wrong.
Yeah.
We have a review of The Suicide Squad for our next show.
Yes.
So we'll be talking about that, talking about our experiences at this new, little, yellow, different CONvergence in 2021.
Yes. Looking forward to it. Hopefully Suicide Squad will be exciting and fun. I do like James Gunn, so we'll see.
And he likes you, baby.
Oh my god.
So that's it from the Just Enough Trope Studios on the mean streets. We are signing off. I'm your host, Caliban.
I'm your co-host, Mika Hana.
Keep the geek fires burning.